Hello, my name is Christian Grogan. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips for new golfers. So to start, we're going to talk about equipment. You don't need to spend a lot of money if you get like a used set or buy individual clubs that you can find good deals on. If you go and buy a new set of clubs, even for a cheap set, it's relatively going to be at least $600, $700. So I definitely recommend if you're starting out to find a cheap set. Used sets are just as good as new ones. Um, And then balls and tees, those are relatively cheap. You can find lots of those for $20 on the dozen, and then tees you can find hundreds for $5. So just look around, you'll find good deals. Um, for stance and posture, you want your feet shoulder width apart, pretty much like any other sport where you want to be in an athletic stance. You want your knees a little bent. You want your back flat and straight, not necessarily straight as can be, but you don't want to be slouched over. You want to turn at the hips for your swing, and then you want your head and chest basically over the ball, so you're basically looking like directly down at it. For drivers and longer clubs, you're going to be a little bit further back, but you still want to feel that you're over top of it. So those are good things to keep in mind when talking about stance and posture, because that's every shot you want a good posture, you want a good stance. You might change it for certain shots, but you want to focus on that definitely. For grip, you don't want to just grab the club like normal, hands on top of each other like a baseball bat. You want your thumbs involved a little bit. Some people like interlocking their pinkies or overlapping them. I just go basic, like 10-finger baseball, but I keep my thumbs on the grip so I have a little bit of direction where I can guide the club. If you just grab it like that, you're gonna have no control over it. But yeah, find the grip that you like most. Like I said about interlocking, overlapping, test them out, see which one you like, and your grip may vary based on the shot you're hitting. So for me, like I said, every other shot besides a putt, I'm like that. But when I putt, I flip my hands. My left hand's on bottoms, and I have my pointer fingers down the side. I just like it for the feel. Because putting, it's not about power, it's about feel. Next, we're going to talk about alignment. Um, so for alignment, you want, like I said earlier, about your head and chest over the ball. You want that ball basically, especially for short, chips or putts, you want that ball close to you and you want looking right over it. And you want your eyes on it the whole time through contact and on the way through the follow through. You want your feet parallel to the target. So if my target is that way, I want my chest and head would be down this way, but my feet are parallel, like I said, to the target. So same thing, if I would go this way, then it would be the other way around. My feet, if you're righty, the line would be going to the left, and if you're lefty, the line would be going to the right. That's the parallel line you want to the target. Um, and that's really important because if you're not aiming correctly, even when you hit a good shot, it's not going to go where you want it to. For putting, that's also very, very important. And like we said here, available tools to help. Um, like your putter, for instance, you have lines on the putter that naturally will help you line up. So okay, you step behind the ball, you look at your target. If it breaks a little bit to the right, you want to line up a little bit to the left. Um, and like here in the picture, you can see the lady's using an alignment stick, which naturally will, you can put your feet right behind it, and you'll be in position for. So tools like that are really cheap. You can get alignment sticks for $4, $5, and over time, it builds good habits, which is very important for golf. So the swing, this is obviously the most important thing. You need to learn the different types of swings, and what we mean by that is, you're not going to be changing. If you're hitting a full swing every time, you're not going to be changing how you do it. But if you're chipping, it's much different from a full swing to a little baby chip. So you need to practice those and learn how to manage your power and how the contact you want on the ball, which we said here, ball contact, which is the most important thing in golf probably. If you want to improve your game, you need to be able to practice and consistently work on hitting ball first, then a little bit of ground if you're trying to, hit down into it, which you should be. Um, swing momentum is big, or it's a big thing. If you're not a big guy, or you're trying to hit the ball further, you need to work on transferring that weight back when you have your backswing and then back on the way through for your follow through. You need to get all your weight into it and all your momentum, which is very important. For the chips and putts, it's not, you're not doing that as much. But for a full swing, absolutely. And then wrist movement, this is more important for like a chip or a putt. Well, for a putt, you don't want your wrists to break, really. You want those to stay locked. But for a chip, at least me, especially close range when I'm trying to get under the ball and pop it up or something, you want to get those wrists involved a little bit. And then for a full swing, even too, you don't want them locked the whole time. You want to get them through on contact so you can play the shot shape that you want. Shot shape is like right to left is a draw for a righty, and then left to right is a fade. Because naturally you don't hit the ball straight. No one does. You don't try to, at least, because it's not sustainable to keep doing that. So you try to play a little shot shape. For me, it's a draw. For beginners, though, most people play a fade because they tend to swing across their body, which is naturally will make you hit a draw or a fade. Excuse me. So, final thoughts. You just need to practice. Golf's one of the sports where repetition is key, and the more you do it, the more you'll get better at it. It's not an easy sport. It's very difficult. Most people think, how hard can it be? But until they actually go out there and try it, it'll blow your mind how much harder you actually think it is. Just first watching it and then going to do it, it's mind blowing. Focusing on short game, that's major. That's your chipping, your putting. Everyone that starts golf wants to hit it 300 yards, but if you want to be good, you have to focus on those 50 yards and in shots, because that's what you're going to be hitting throughout the whole round. Some holes you don't even hit your driver. There's par threes where you're going to be hitting an iron off the tee. So you need to be locked in from that, 150 yards and in. And then putting is the biggest thing in golf, in my opinion, because you can hit a shot 100 or 350 yards, but it doesn't mean anything if you three putt. You can hit a 200-yard drive, hit a good next shot, a chip, and make the putt. On a par 5, that's birdie, and on a par 4, that's par. That's why some of the best golfers in the world don't focus on just hitting 400-yard drives like some people can. You'll never be good if you just work on that. So you need to work on your short game. Everything else is important too, but I think short game is definitely the most. Staying committed over the winter is the toughest thing to do, probably, especially here in Michigan because of how bad of winters we have. There's nowhere to really go golf, but get to a simulator place, go to a dome, hit some shots, stay loose, because trust me, you will lose your swing if you don't play for a couple months, and especially if you're a new golfer. And that is very hard to, get. It's a grind to restart once you do that. So if you can, play once a week, twice a week, it'll be great for you, and I guarantee you'll be better by next time you play. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys can improve your scores out there on the course.